We'll take a look now at the technical specifications and descriptions report assignment. So on this slide, we will focus on the broader description before going into the minimum requirements. As you will discover in this unit, objective, detailed descriptions serve a variety of purposes. Generally, such descriptions are composed to ensure that a specified audience will clearly understand the full meaning of a given topic, product, or process. Specifications reports are written to delineate all technical information objectively, especially visual characteristics of the report subject when applicable. Several of the supplemental materials in this unit will identify specifications that you'll want to include if you are describing a product or process that involves quality or safety regulations. For this assignment, you will write a descriptions report directed to a general audience that describes a relevant product or process used in your chosen major or current career or trade area. If your major or career is undecided, you may select a product or process applicable in your everyday life. You can see different examples of product or process descriptions reports in the Learning Materials folder for week 6. You must include relevant specifications such as object dimensions, materials used, and so forth in either a product or process description report. So be sure to review the specifications section that begins on page 220 of the textbook for more examples of what specifications to include. The terms and concepts in the technical specifications study set identify several of these aspects. Please follow either the simple process or product description report formats used in the textbook. So this will depend on whether you choose to write a product description or a process description. If you choose to write a product description, you will refer to figure 12.2 on page 210. If you choose to write a process description, you will refer to figure 12.3 on page 211. For a more complex document, see figures 12.4 and 12.5. Do not combine or use elements of either of these report formats. Now let's take a look at the technical specifications and description report assignment requirements. The core of the report should demonstrate research-driven expository description of a field-specific product or process. You should also make sure to have a strategic arrangement of the report, including an effective introduction and conclusion. The technical descriptions study set identifies specific elements that your report should include and describes strategies for writing effective introductions and conclusions. The report should demonstrate appropriate uses of language, such as no vague, biased, or inconsistent terminology. You want to be careful to avoid any kind of subjective descriptions. Focus mainly on visual, not emotional details. The supplemental materials in week 6 will also take you through some different exercises for writing objectively instead of subjectively. The core of the report should also have sufficient evidence of accurate and objective details to support each of the main points. At the surface level, the report should adhere to standard written English grammatical conventions. In other words, you should maintain control over surface-level grammatical errors. Your report should include at least one visual aid, a picture of a product or process diagram, including labels and captions. You can see definitions of diagram, labels, and captions within the study set for technical descriptions. The report should include proper APA documentation for research resources used in writing the report, which you would have to have a minimum of 2. One of these could be a visual aid that you cite as a secondary research source. And the second could be another research source that you integrated to provide accurate, objective details or information about your subject. The report should be a minimum length of 2 pages, double-spaced, with standard margins and font. So again, standard margins would be 1 inch all the way around the page, and standard font would be 12-point Times New Roman. Please submit your work to the Technical Specifications and Description Report folder on Brightspace, which appears if you click on the Assessments drop-down menu and then select Assignments. And this will be due by 11 p.m. on
February 22nd.
You can expect to hear an explanation of the Technical Specifications and Descriptions Report scoring rubric
in a separate video.
Also, you should be aware that you will not be required to submit a rough draft for this assignment. However, I encourage you to submit an instructor review request, which will allow you to get feedback on your work before the assignment deadline. You're also welcome to make use of our tutoring resources, including the e-tutoring service